Hey, it's Alex Loves. How are you? How's it going? I'm out here in Portland. It's Portland Spring right now. I'm going to show you real quick. Portland Spring. That's Portland Spring. This is typical Portland Spring. Tell you what, last night during Portland Spring, I turned on my heater. It's June. It's June. What is this? Is this new moon stuff? I don't know. Anyway, Portland Spring. Okay, so I'm gonna make a confession here right now, friends, and that is I have not read any of the Harry Potters or seen any of the movies. Until now. Now, okay, so I'm on day 7 of a cleanse, and I'm a big, if you know me, like I'm a big movie fan. I love movies. I love just researching characters and being entertained by movies. When I'm on a cleanse, this particular cleanse, I do this 4 times a year. This particular cleanse, I'm just like a little tired of clearing some stuff out. So I've been watching more movies, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch a couple of Harry Potters. Right? I first started by doing like Harry Potter 4 and I was like, I don't know what's going on, so I went back to 1. Okay, so 1, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And look, I'll tell you what, I know that I'm late to game. I know it. And I know that some of the comments are going to be like, what? You have, I know it. I know I'm late to the Harry Potter game, but let me tell you, there is some wisdom in this movie. And I bet you anything that there's even more wisdom in the book, and it's probably even more powerful when you see it in words. Hey, Julie, how's it going? Welcome. So anyway, this is what I want to talk about. Let me turn this way. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so Harry Potter wisdom. Okay, let me first say this. We're in the middle of a Great Purge right now. As you can see, there's a lot of polarity. There's a lot of infrastructure and systems breaking down. We're talking about gun control and racism and sexism and trans issues and debt and disparity of wages and all this stuff. But really, ultimately, what's happening right now in our world, that tension you're feeling, that sort of like people unplugging left and right, people fighting, people dying randomly, all what people are calling conspiracy theory, all the stuff and things. We're going through a great purge. The good thing is, what happens after a great purge is a great healing. You don't purge unless you're healing, right? If there's no purge, then and you're sick, you just die, right? So ultimately, hang on, ground yourself, create community, and find love, and you'll be fine. You will be fine. And so were your children, okay? We can do this, all right? So, in this great purge, a lot of leaders have emerged in all communities, in all politics, in all, institutions and sciences, whatever it is. There are leaders out there, okay? And there's all sorts of people in leadership roles that they run the dynamic of like crazy narcissist, psychopathic, to loving and humble and selfless. And what I've found in my life is that in times of my life when I've felt lost or felt ungrounded or kind of like was trying to figure out who I was and kind of didn't know, definitely was in that role of like, because I don't quite know what I stand for, I'll fall for anything, right? You've heard that phrase before. So I was in that phase, and during when I was in those phases, I should say, because that's happened more than once in my life, I tend to allow any leadership that has convinced me, and at those times in my life it didn't take a lot, to tell me they know the way, that it's their way, and it's the only way. So glad I didn't meet any cult leaders at that time in my life, at those times in my life. So if you're seeing this video live, or if you're seeing it as a replay, let me know. Let me know if you've been in that situation where like you didn't know what you stood for, so you fell for something, right? And so, unfortunately, these leaders, most of them really, I truly believe that these leaders who are sort of like focused in one way, one thing, and anybody who's outside of that is not going to be successful. That kind of limited, rigid thinking. the thing is that I know, I try to have a compassionate understanding in that they really do believe that that is the way and that they are helping you if they tell you that this is the way. But I'm here to tell you, especially in this Great Purge, because that type of thinking is dying. Thank Goddess, that kind of thinking is dying right now. So I want to relate this back to Harry Potter because I want to give you not necessarily advice, but just awareness that these leaders, these types of people in leadership roles exist, and that it's really important to know what you stand for so that you don't get bamboozled into a path, into growing in a specific way, or into getting rigid in your thinking of one way of doing things, especially if you're not aligned with that one way and you're trying to force yourself to be someone who can do it that one way that person's talking about. It can make you small. It can make you act in ways that are not aligned with who you are. And that is, and that would be against your divine nature. And it can take years of your life. It can take weeks, months, and years of your life. Some people spend a lifetime in those situations. So I'm watching Harry Potter, okay, Sorcerer's Stone, first Harry Potter, and and okay, I'm gonna mess up the names, and I'm so sorry, but okay, there's redhead Harry Potter, and then there's blonde Harry Potter. Okay, no, they have different names. So I think redhead is Weasley, and there's Harry Potter, and there's the blonde kid who's like Maverick or McElroy or Mulvery or something like that. And they're arriving at the school for the first time. Little tiny wizards. I mean, they're little. By the time they finish Harry Potter, they're like 40. But like, seriously, in the first movie, they're like 10. They're so little. So they arrive at the school for the first time. And one of the Redgraves, I don't know her name is the witch in the movie, but one of the Redgraves actresses comes, and she's like this amazing witch, and warlock, whatever they call her, and she comes up and she's like, okay, welcome to the school, and before you come and you know, enjoy the school, you're gonna have to figure out which family you're part of. It's like ceremony they go through, and she says the different names of the houses, which are, oh, I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try, right? Okay, so, blonde wizard, little blonde wizard, comes up to Harry Potter and his redhead friend, and the first thing he does is he looks at the redhead friend and he delivers a passive-aggressive insult. Well, it's kind of aggressive. It's not even passive, okay? I've seen this happen in my real life that's very passive. Basically, it's an isolation, okay? This is what I'm getting at as far as having awareness of these types of sickly leaderships that are out there, these types of rigid, one-way thinking leaderships. The first thing that little blonde Maverick wizard does is he tries to isolate Harry Potter. He tries to put down Harry Potter's new friend, who's the redhead wizard, and he says, this is not the way. As a matter of fact, this way is bad. And I'm going to add insult to this. Okay, that's the first thing he does. And then he goes to Harry Potter and he says, I know the way. My way is the most powerful way. And then he goes to shake Harry. Oh, you should come with me to my way. And then he shakes Harry Potter's hand. He goes to shake Harry Potter's hand. And Harry Potter is like, no. And the quote's up there. Now I can't remember exactly the quote. The quote's in the message of this Facebook Live. And Harry Potter kind of looks at him and considers the situation, taps into the intuition. And he's like, I think I can tell for myself. I think he says, I know how to spot the right way. Oh, I see. I think he says, I know how to spot the wrong way. Now, how many times have you gotten yourself involved in one of those experiences where you find yourself under leadership that is just terrible, and you find, you go through the process of like trying to do it, and then you force yourself to align and you can't align with it, and then shit happens and then you're out. Okay, and then you look back to when it all started and you're like, I knew from the beginning. There were signs right there. Why didn't I just follow my intuition, right? So this movie starts, I mean, there's a lot of great messages in Harry Potter. I think that's why it's so popular, not just because of the magic, because there's a lot of great messages in this movie. But how powerful is it? Harry Potter, even his own discoveries of himself, he just sits there and he knows what's good for him. He knows what's good. He's sitting there with his redheaded wizard friend, the redheaded Harry Potter, and he's like, he's already made friends with this person. He already has trust with this person, and someone is standing in front of him saying, "This way is more powerful." And he's strong. When Blonde Wizard says it, that blonde little wizard is strong when he says it. He believes it. He knows it. There's no shadow of a doubt. He is confident. And even though Harry Potter is not totally confident with who he is, he's confident with his intuition. He's confident with his heart. And so he's just like, no, I can tell. In front of all the kids. And there's already, look, this is the other thing I forgot to say this. This is the other thing that little blonde Harry Potter does, little Maverick, whatever his name is, wizard, whatever he does. This is the other thing he does. Before he even insults the redhead and tries to isolate Harry Potter from him, he's standing there and he shows proof, his social proof, that he has the right way by saying, "This is my team." And he names out like 3 other little wizards. They don't talk a lot in the movie, but 3 other little wizards. This is my team. How intimidating is that? These are some of the reasons that we fall for this type of leadership. Someone comes up and they say, "Here's my proof that I'm amazing, I'm powerful, and I have the way. By the way, this way over here, this thing that you're connected to that makes you feel good, it's actually wrong. It's actually poison. It's not good. I know the most powerful way. I know you want it. Come join me." I call death to that shit. I don't fall for that shit anymore in my life. And I'm so sorry if you've ever had this experience in your life. It's dying out with this purge. Know that it is dying out with this purge. It is not the way anymore. And Harry Potter, that book, J.K. Rowling, who wrote that book, she is an oracle. Let me tell you. I could not be more grateful to have seen a wave of this understanding come through a book that's so popular and a movie that is so popular with so many children. And that's just one of the messages in the movie. So anyway, I just wanted to open that awareness and connect with you on that type of, toxic leadership. And I'd love to hear what you think about what I'm saying, or I'd love to hear any comments you have about if you've experienced it before, or any comments about Harry Potter. I'm sorry, if you know the names that I'm talking about, the little blonde Harry Potter starts with an M. It's like McElroy or Mulroy or something. The little red one is Weasley. I don't know why I remember that one. And I know who Harry Potter is. And I know I'm late to the game. I'm sorry for anybody who's insulted that I'm just now watching the Harry Potters in 2018. Even though my brother's 10 years younger than me and he was totally into Harry Potter. Somehow I missed it. And also, the Redgrave woman who plays that witch. Ooh, she is so good. What a great movie. Okay. Love you all. I'm Alexandra Loves. Check me out. Check my website out. I love you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.